This video is about this mouthpiece and this one, but it's not a competition. So in this video today, I'm going to show you the similarities and differences between two high baffled mouthpieces, a handmade Guardala and a Dukoff or Dukoff, however you pronounce it, Miami, Florida D7. Now I'm also going to touch on a little issue that a lot of players find when they're crossing over to high baffled pieces, and that's called squeaking. So I'll give you my thoughts on the squeaking and how to avoid it at the end of the video. Dave Guardala handmade original, and it's my preferred mouthpiece of choice. I love this mouthpiece. It's great. It does exactly what I want. It gives me the sound that I hear in my silly head. What the hell's this got to do with that? Well, the answer is everything. Because if it wasn't for this, that wouldn't exist. And yes, the shape of them slightly different, but they are in a similar sort of profile, slim metal tenor. Now when we look inside the Dukoff, you can see that it's got quite a large chamber. They call it the superpower chamber because they're quite powerful mouthpieces. It has the thin rails, as you can see there, and it has this nice step baffle. Now, what the hell's that got to do with this Guardala? Well, look. Thin rails, step baffle, large chamber. They are very much in the same, what I would say, family of mouthpieces, which is brighter, high baffled mouthpieces. In other words, if you want a sound that is going to make you sound very dark and very warm, you should run a mile, because this is not going to give you that sort of sound. It's not going to give you that warm, fluffy, fuzzy sound. This is going to do exactly the opposite. It's going to blow the walls off at the back of the room. Now, while this Guardala may be my main tenor mouthpiece, and I really dig the sound that I get off this, it has to be said, the inspiration of these Dukoffs are heavily into this mouthpiece. But you'll hear that they're both in that sort of category. So I'm going to do a little demo, noodling up and down on this one, and I'll play exactly the same thing on this one. You'll definitely hear where they are coming from and which family of mouthpiece that they're coming from. And just to add, I will be using the same sort of reed on each mouthpiece, which is a Rigotti Wild number 2.5. And I'll also be using the same sort of ligature on each mouthpiece, which is one of these vintage Selmer 402s. They were actually originally made for metal alto mouthpieces, but they fit amazing on these metal tenor mouthpieces. So a little tip there, if you're looking for a ligature that fits on a slimline metal tenor mouthpiece, look into the Selmer 402s. They fit really well. So let's have a listen to the two mouthpieces side to side. So when I played this one, I thought to myself, wow, this feels great. It's nice. It's free blowing. I can get the altissimo out. I can get the low notes. I've got a lot of power there. But when I was playing this one, I just thought, wow, it's like this one, but just more of everything. It just felt like more. If you understand what I mean, this one plays great and it feels nice. But when I went on to this one, I just felt it was just like that extra 20% more of everything. It was a bit brighter, had a bit more edge, it had a bit more fullness, it had more fatness in the tone. But what I'm saying about this does not lower or lesser the significance of this one, because this one is derived from this sort of style of mouthpiece, exactly one of these. So there you go. This is the lineage. You can see in this family tree where this one is inspired from. This one has what I want when it comes to making my sound on my tenor. But if I didn't have one of these or never tried one of these, I'd be blown away by one of these as well. They're great. People who don't like these sort of mouthpieces, that's fine. That's great. But the sentence I've heard from a lot of players is, I can't play these high baffled mouthpieces because I squeak too much on them. Well, of course you do. That's probably because you're clamping down your jaw too much onto the mouthpiece, suffocating the reed, and it's screaming to get out and get its sound out. How I found with these mouthpieces is you've got to really relax your jaw, and you've got to get your lip out as well, and then breathe warm air through your body into the mouthpiece, and that's how to play a high baffled piece. Well, that works for me anyway, and I don't squeak that much, but I really did when I first moved onto one of these because I was clamping down my jaw. My lip was rolled over too much. I wasn't breathing properly from the diaphragm. So, from my own experience of doing them mistakes on high baffled pieces, so all in all, you just got to relax when you're playing with these. How I describe it to my students, I say to them, what you do is get your hand, put it in front of your face. Now imagine your hand is freezing cold. How do you want to warm it up? You go like that. And then they can feel from the diaphragm that surge, that pulling. So you got to apply that when you're playing these high baffled pieces. Relax your jaw, blow from your diaphragm, or should I say breathe from your diaphragm, get that warm air through it, get that lip out a bit, and you're going to have a completely different experience on a high baffled piece. But anyway, that's my little rant and my little nag of the day over. It's tongue-in-cheek, of course, as long as it's not lip rolled over teeth, of course. You know I mean it from a good place, and it's all from here because I want you lot out there to have a better experience on your saxophone, and especially on that saxophone journey when it comes to trying lots of gear, because I've tried lots of gear. I've probably tried more gear than I should have ever tried in a whole lifetime or 3. But I've enjoyed it. I've loved it. I don't regret any part of it. But that's just my take on it. You've heard them both together. Both very nice mouthpieces. And it's not a competition. I'm not interested in the comments about, oh, I like that one better. I like that one better. I think that's horrible. I think that one's great. I don't care. I'm just saying, they're both from the same family, and I really do like both of these mouthpieces. And sometimes I'll play on a Dukoff for a while, but I always end up back on something like this. Anyway, wishing you a fantastic day. Do me a huge favour. You know what I'm going to do. I'm grovelling and begging. So get that little finger, wiggle it around, and go click on the like button. Please. Thank you very much. Anyway, catch me in the next video. Go away. Shoo. Get lost.